Welcome to Astrology of the Unknown,
a true crime astrology podcast.
I am your host, Joseph Mulholland.
And I'm your other host, William Holloway.
And today we are in the presence of Ellie once again, and she has a friend with her today.
Yeah.
I do. I've got a friend. He's usually on my covering, but he fell off. So I want to join. So here he is.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I actually don't know.
Oh.
He doesn't have one yet. My flamingos in the front yard do. My lawn gnome does. He doesn't, though. He's always alien.
Okay. Maybe we'll name him by the end of this episode.
We can name him. Yes. Maybe that's why he jumped off. He's like, give me a name.
Give me a name.
For those of you listening and watching on YouTube, Ellie has a little green alien man. Actually, I don't know if it's a man. It could be a woman.
Yeah.
Non-binary alien?
Yeah. Yes. It could. Yes. I guess we'll figure out as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's actually good that you have an alien with you because it ties into what we're going to talk about today.
It does. It does. I came prepared with my shirt with UFOs on it.
Yeah. Perfect.
So we have a lot to cover today. So we're just going to dive right in. We are going to talk about what the hell is going on with NASA, what is going on with all of these scientists that are coming up missing or dead. And we're going to try to tie a lot of historical things together. And yeah, this is a little bit of a new format for us. So bear with us. And yeah, we'll see if we can shine any light on what could possibly be going on. Do either of you have anything you want to add before we dive in?
I think the title is great. Like, what the fuck is going on with NASA? I think it's great. That's why I was laughing. I'm like, yeah, really. It's like, what the hell is going on with them?
Yeah, totally. It's a wild time. And I feel like a lot of this stuff it's starting to get more attention. The world is so wild right now. It's totally understandable in a way that it's getting hidden. But yeah, this is a really wild thing. A lot of wild stuff connected to NASA, jet propulsion technology. Is any of it connected? We're going to find out.
Yep.
Maybe.
And I want to give William a shout out again. He created the script for this. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I apologize in advance if I mispronounce anything. Sound off in the comments if you want to judge me for it. That's cool. That's fine. I can take it. All right, let's jump right in. So in recent years, particularly between 2025 and early 2026, several individuals connected to U.S. aerospace, defense, and nuclear research have either disappeared or died under a range of mysterious circumstances. Taken together, these cases have drawn national attention and raised questions at the highest levels, including inquiries from federal agencies and Congress. One thread appears repeatedly: NASA and the world of jet propulsion technology. Most importantly, and most recently, that connection surfaced again in an unexpected way when an attempted assassination of a sitting U.S. president was linked to a suspect with a professional background in the same field. So what, if anything, connects these events? Is this simply a coincidence or part of a larger, more complex story? Today, we examine the full scope of these questions. We'll begin with the origins of NASA and the development of jet propulsion technology. We'll take a peek at the charts of NASA's greatest hits, then move on to several of the most unusual recent cases involving missing or deceased scientists. Now, I will say, because this story covers a significant amount of ground, this episode will follow a slightly different format. Rather than representing the full narrative up front, each section will begin with a summary of events, followed by the corresponding astrological analysis. Given the complex and multiple layers involved, this format helps us work through the details more carefully. So we are going to start with talking about when the Jet Propulsion Lab was initially established. So, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or the JPL, is a federally funded research and development center managed by the California Institute of Technology for NASA. Located in Pasadena, California, it serves as NASA's leading center for robotic space exploration. The JPL traces its origins to the 1930s, when a small group of engineers and scientists began conducting early rocket propulsion experiments in the Arroyo Seco, informally known as the Suicide Squad due to the risks involved. This team carried out some of the first American rocket tests. One of the earliest documented tests took place on October 31st, 1936, witchy, near Devil's Gate Dam. This date is commonly known as the day that the Jet Propulsion Laboratory was born. In the years that followed, the lab became a key site for rocket development, with testing activity that could be heard throughout the surrounding region. Initially focused on military and propulsion research, JPL's mission shifted significantly with the establishment of NASA in 1958. That same year, JPL developed and helped launch Explorer-1, the first successful U.S. satellite, marking the beginning of its central role in civilian space exploration. Over subsequent decades, the JPL became synonymous with robotic planetary missions. It has designed and managed many landmark projects, including the Voyager spacecraft, which explored the outer planets, the Viking missions, which achieved the first successful landings on Mars, the Cassini mission to Saturn, and a series of Mars rovers, including Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, and Perseverance. Today, JPL remains at the forefront of deep space exploration and advanced propulsion research, including electric and ion propulsion systems. Its work continues to emphasize autonomous spacecraft, planetary science, and missions that expand scientific understanding of the solar system and beyond. So now we're going to look at the chart for the JPL. So I'm going to hand it over to the two of you.
Yeah. All right. So this is the first chart we're looking at. The Jet Propulsion Lab, established October 31st, 1936 in Pasadena. I went with 12 p.m. because it said that it was in the early afternoon. Or no, it said early to mid-afternoon. So noon seemed like the best time to do it. And that gives this chart Capricorn rising, Saturn in Pisces. That seems pretty fitting.
It does.
That Saturn is opposite Neptune and Mars in the 9th house. And we have Jupiter in the North Node conjunct in Sagittarius here in the 12th house. And what other things here? Gemini moon ruled by Mercury and Libra.
That stands out a whole bunch. The curiosity, yeah, that definitely stands out to me.
Totally. Yeah. And then also something I wanted to two things that I want to point out, because it's something that I see coming up with these other charts, is Uranus being significant, of course, to technology, science, innovation. Here, Uranus is in Taurus, which means that this jet propulsion just had its Uranus return within the last handful of years.
Might have been like in what, 2020 or 2021 or something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Yeah. And that Uranus right here is opposite the sun. And then another thing I noticed coming up is that the Gemini moon is parallel in declination to Pluto and Cancer.
Oh, okay.
And one of the reasons I bring that up is that looking at the declination, Pluto is involved, whether it's parallel or contraparallel. Tends to be parallel in positive moments and contraparallel in negative moments.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because also because this is Pluto in Cancer was at 22 north. But what's interesting about that is right now, and then also in all of these more recent charts, is Pluto is at 22 south.
That is
So
interesting.
it's contra-parallel to this. I don't know. Just
It feels a little echoey. There's something kind of a
yeah,
little in a different way, but echoey.
yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how I wanna say what I wanna say. I'm not censoring myself, I'm trying to figure out how I wanna say it, because there are ties to the occult with jet propulsion, with JPL, right? With Jack
Yes, there
Wolfson
are. I'm
and
glad you brought that up. Yeah.
there are, and there definitely are. I'm one that stuff in the 12th, that Jupiter in the 12th, the one of the rulers of that chart ruler in the
Mhm.
12th. I feel like they're like they almost like they didn't quite know what they were getting themselves into with this. I'm not sure how else to say it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
they
opening Pandora's box, right?
yeah, yes, it's like they knew it's weird. It's like they knew what they were doing, but they didn't know what they were doing at the same time. Yeah, that's what that's what that makes me think of.
Yeah, totally. And also you can think on a more surfacey level with that Jupiter North Node conjunction, exploration forward into the unknown and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this chart will be interesting to look at on top of some of these other charts as we go forward, some of the connections.
Yes. So we're going to look at this chart and we're going to overlay the chart for the next topic that we're going to talk about. So next we're going to talk about the establishment of NASA. So the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, was established in 1958 as the United States civilian space agency created in response to rapid technological and geopolitical developments during the early Cold War. NASA's origins can be traced to the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, or NACA, founded in 1915 to advance aeronautical research. For several decades, NACA focused on improving aircraft performance, conducting wind tunnel experiments, and developing foundational technologies that would later support spacecraft and space flight. The immediate catalyst for NASA's creation was the launch of Sputnik 1 by the Soviet Union in October 1957. As the first artificial satellite to orbit Earth, Sputnik demonstrated a significant technological achievement and intensified concerns within the United States about leadership in science and defense. This event accelerated efforts to unify and expand American space research under a civilian framework. In response, the US government passed the National Aeronautics and Space Act, which was signed into law by Dwight D. Eisenhower on July 29th, 1958. The act formally established NASA, absorbing NACA's personnel, facilities, and research capabilities, while also integrating elements of military space programs. NASA officially began operations on October 1st, 1958. Shortly thereafter, it oversaw the launch of Explorer 1, the first successful American satellite, marking the beginning of the nation's formal entry into the space age. In its early years, NASA focused on developing human spacecraft capabilities through programs such as Mercury and Gemini, while also advancing scientific satellites and robotic exploration. These efforts culminated in the Apollo program, which achieved the first human landing on the moon in 1969. Today, NASA continues to lead U.S. efforts in space exploration, scientific discovery, and aeronautics research, building on a foundation established during a period of intense global competition and rapid technological innovation. So now we are going to look at the chart of NASA. Are we going to look at NASA first and then put it on top of the JPL?
Yeah.
Or yeah, cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So here's the NASA chart. Whenever it's something like a bill or something getting signed into law, we usually don't have a time for it, but I always put noon. Would you agree with that, Ellie? Like when we have to signed?
I think that's fair to go with
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So in that sense, we don't need to pay too much attention to the rising, although it is interesting that it's Libra rising.
It is,
Libra.
especially I'm sorry, especially with
Oh,
some
go
of
on.
these charts have Libra risings too,
Yes.
which does kind of so I don't know if this is the right time, but it wouldn't surprise me if they had a, that wouldn't surprise me if it were close.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally. The first thing I see is that Jupiter North Node conjunction, this time
Mhm.
in Libra.
Yep.
The Sun is conjunct, whereas the Sun and Uranus were opposite in the previous chart. Now they're in a loose conjunction, but a conjunction.
Definitely stands out with the technology element. And it's almost like the way that I see that, like the other one with the JPL chart opposition, this in a conjunction, it's almost like whatever they were doing is now coming together here. Does that
Mm.
make sense? Like,
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
that
Before I, oh, sorry.
Mercury and Pluto
Yep.
in the 12th.
Yeah.
I got questions about that.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell are y'all doing? What the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like from the beginning, they were like, we're going to find aliens. We're going to find the meaning of life, you know?
Yeah, it's very like, and in Virgo, there's something that feels kind of focused
Yes.
about it. Whatever it is, like whatever that is, that conjunction, it is very focused and intentional.
Very. Something I wanted to say in terms related to declination, Venus, the MC, and Pluto are parallel in declination. So Venus, MC, Pluto, and they are parallel to the jet propulsion's Pluto moon conjunction.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's tying into
That.
yeah. So let's look at the chart on top.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jet propulsion, sorry. On top of NASA.
Oh, look at Mars poking Uranus there.
Yeah. Mars poking Uranus. A little poking Uranus.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Mercury right on the North Node and Jupiter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jupiter transiting Jupiter conjunct Saturn in Sagittarius. So it's like having its own like Saturn Jupiter conjunction.
It is, and it also feels very much like another like carrying over to yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And if I know the jet propulsion, you mentioned that you just kind of set it to noon, but
Yeah.
it is interesting that we've got the ascendant in that one conjunct the moon and NASA signed into law. That is, I get if that's close, right? Noon
Yeah.
being a close time, JPL. This would also be like a carrying,
Totally. It really works.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah. Yeah, it really works. And then, the other thing about, it's important to remember that the jet propulsion event, or sorry, when it was established, the moon was in Taurus and then it moved over to Gemini. And obviously, because I went with noon, it was right when the moon went into Gemini. But it's just something about that Taurus Gemini thing, because, we also just had Uranus go from Taurus to Gemini. So it's all like knocking boots with that moon,
And the more I think about, like, because like there are occult ties to JPL. I bet this is pretty good considering the moon wouldn't have been void of course. I
Right.
definitely wouldn't have been after having moved into. I can't see them, and I'm not sure actually. I didn't look to see like when the moon wouldn't have been void anymore, but I can't imagine that they would have done that during a void of course moon. So you're
Right.
probably pretty
Exactly.
probably
Good point. Good point.
but totally the carryover from Taurus into Gemini, we're seeing that echoed now with Uranus. Yeah, are echoes.
Yeah, it's like Taurus being the work, Gemini being the flight, almost like
Mhm.
ideas in the air.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else before we move? Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, should we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
S-
I could just stare at charts for, like, hours and
Oh,
not
for
say
sure.
anything and just go, "Ooh," like, what
Me too. And I did. So, yeah.
So there are a lot of things that we could look at with things that NASA has done over the years, but we're going to focus on two things, NASA's greatest hits, basically. So the Apollo 11 moon landing and the Challenger disaster. Together, they represent both the heights of achievement and the sobering challenges inherent in space exploration, shaping NASA's legacy and approach to future missions. So we'll talk about the Apollo moon landing first and then look at the chart. So, the Apollo 11 mission marked a defining achievement in human space exploration. Launched on July 16th, 1969, it carried astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. On July 20th, Armstrong and Aldrin descended to the lunar surface in the lunar module Eagle, while Collins remained in orbit aboard the command module. Armstrong became the first human to walk on the moon that we know of, followed shortly by Aldrin. The mission fulfilled a major national objective set during the Cold War and demonstrated the technological capabilities of the United States. Apollo 11 remains one of the most significant milestones in both NASA's history and the broader history of science and engineering. So we'll have a look at that chart. Oh, you've already got it up.
Yep. All right. So, I mean, another Rob chart. Yeah. Right away, Sag rising, conjunct Mars, which was out of bounds
Ah,
at
okay.
the time. Yeah. Ruled by Jupiter and Libra. Here, Jupiter is conjunct Uranus,
Which is fitting.
which is very fitting.
You know, that Neptune,
Yeah.
there's something about Neptune there. I'm still thinking about that.
Well, I was just gonna say, the thing with the ascendant and Mars being conjunct, it's like adventure, exploring, actively, going off into unseen worlds. It's like right there.
Yeah, and even with Mars as one of the rulers of that 12th house, it's kind of like bringing the, what is unseen to being seen kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
I was just that Neptune makes me think there's something we're not seeing about it though, and I don't know what that is.
But it was fake.
Well,
No, I'm kidding.
what'd you say?
I said that it was fake. No,
Oh
I'm kidding.
yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I know. Well, didn't Neil Armstrong say that he saw some stuff when he was up
I know.
there?
I think it was Buzz Aldrin,
Maybe
actually,
Buzz
said
Aldrin.
something about alien, like seeing something strange.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if there could actually be some merit to that.
Yeah. 100%.
With that, like there's something, yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Something else that's really interesting is, well, okay, so we've got the Pluto South Node conjunction, but there's declination. The declination Mercury 20 is at 22 north. So it's parallel again, that 22 north again, parallel to NASA's Venus, MC, and Pluto, and JPL's Pluto and Moon.
Okay.
So now it's like contact or,
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That Sun and Mercury also in the 8th. There is something about this that we did not, we the public did not see.
100%. Maybe they did make contact then. Maybe this was when it all began.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, and also that Neptune is trining Mercury and the sun.
Yes, it is. It
Yeah,
is. It is, and it's yeah, it's like it's would be smack between both of them in terms of the trine.
right.
June 26th, the Sun and Mercury at 27 and 25.
Yeah,
Like,
amazing. Cool.
Anything else before we move on?
I don't think so.
All right. So next, we're going to talk about a little bit of a bummer. So we're going to talk about the Challenger disaster. So the STS-51L mission ended in tragedy on January 28th, 1986, when the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart 73 seconds after launch, resulting in the loss of all 7 crew members. I remember exactly where I was. I was in kindergarten. They wheeled in a TV and we all got to watch it, and then it exploded, and then they just wheeled the TV out.
Yeah, mine was a similar. I was in kindergarten.
they bring it in for y'all to watch and it blows up and it's just like,
Yeah. There was a whole Punky Brewster episode about it too, like
Yep.
about children witnessing this on television. And yeah,
Yeah, it was traumatic. It was traumatic. I remember
yeah,
like our kindergarten teacher burst into tears and like, yeah, it was a whole thing. Because we were watching it live, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
We
that's
didn't know what was gonna happen.
that's awful.
I
Yeah.
know.
That seems like
Anyway,
a generational defining thing.
Yeah.
Like kind of like I
Before
remember
9
where
11.
yeah, I was gonna
We
say I
had this
remember
Challenger.
being in school for that. I was like an
Yeah,
age watching that and being like, holy shit. But yeah.
yeah.
totally.
That wasn't something that we thought was gonna be happy and cool and then turned
Right.
that
We weren't
that's
looking
awful
at
for
it like
y'all.
waiting for, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awful.
So, what caused the Challenger to explode? It's a good question. So, the accident was caused by the failure of an O-ring seal in the right solid rocket booster, which was compromised by unusually cold launch conditions. The disaster prompted a nationwide response and led to an extensive investigation by the Rogers Commission. The findings identified both technical failures and organizational shortcomings within NASA's decision-making processes. As a result, the space shuttle program was suspended for nearly 3 years while safety protocols, engineering practices, and management structures were re-evaluated and improved. The Challenger disaster remains a pivotal moment in NASA's history, underscoring the risks of spaceflight and leading to lasting changes in mission safety and oversight. So now we're going to look at the Challenger disaster chart.
It's interesting. The moon is in Virgo in this one, and I know Virgo energy can have a correlation with crisis.
Yeah.
So that's kind of and not that there's a crisis every time there's a moon in Virgo, but that does stand out here in this case. It's fitting.
Yeah.
Means like the conditions are ripe.
Yeah, exactly.
For
Yes.
crisis.
Like
100%.
and
Yeah.
then
And oh, sorry.
3
Go.
of those I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
In the perpetrator house, right? Or the catalyst or cause, the 7th house. We have Pluto, we've got Mars, we got Saturn. We've got them all. And the ones that are more challenging and it's like shit.
All the challenges were against the Challenger that day.
Yes. So this
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a rough chart. And I changed it from whole sign to regimentanus because, as an event chart, and also because, it puts that north node right in the 12th house with the south node in the 6th house. It feels very much like unforeseen, uh, faulty equipment, things that were missed that
Mhm.
people didn't see. And then, of course, with Uranus in the 8th house, this
Mhm.
time technology created death.
Yeah. Yeah. The exploration, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus Venus is pretty weak here, like Venus being the victims, like it's whereas like, the 7th house is ruled by Mars and Scorpio. It's like death. It's like a death rattle almost.
Yeah, and that Venus is also squaring it's more loosely squaring those definitely squaring Pluto, loosely squaring the nodes, which doesn't feel so is the Sun, so is Mercury. Doesn't feel particularly like not that it had to go this way, but it doesn't feel like great for this kind of thing,
Right.
for what they were wanting to do.
Yeah. Another thing is Uranus and Neptune are parallel on declination. Also, in addition, they're contraparallel to all the other stuff that was parallel before, right? So Apollo's Mercury, NASA's Venus,
Ugh.
MC Pluto, JP's Pluto
So
and Moon.
so it's like almost like technology doesn't know what it's doing. It's
Yeah, it's been
like
moving forward and now it's gone south, literally.
yeah. Yeah, that yeah.
And also, without putting NASA's chart on top of it, we've got the North Node is conjunct NASA's Mars.
Mm.
And the South Node is conjunct NASA's Neptune. And Uranus is conjunct NASA's Saturn and Sagittarius. So, yeah.
In the last chart, in was the South Node also conjunct Pluto there too? Or did I make that up?
No, I think you're
We've
right. The
a lot of
South
charts.
Node conjunct, yep, South Node Pluto.
Okay, that's interesting too,
And
like
yeah,
the evolution of things, right? So it does fit. It's just this time it went really, really fucking sideways.
really sideways. Yeah.
Anything else we want to say before we move on to the real conspiracy theory portion of this?
I don't
Any-
think so.
Ellie, you seem like you had something you wanted to say.
Well, I'm wondering about this being an accident.
Like, you don't think it was?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only mentioned that because you were like, "We'll get to the conspiracy part." I'm like, "Well, let's go ahead and start now." But no, go on. I'll stop with my bullshit. Well,
Well, looking at this chart, I kept thinking about that scene in that movie with Jodie Foster,
contact.
Contact, which I was in, by the way.
Where are you?
Yes, I was an extra in
That's
that movie.
cool.
Yeah, I was a protester at the end of the movie.
Okay.
Fame.
What'd you say?
I said claim to fame.
That's my claim to fame. Everything's been downhill since. Remember in that when somebody psycho like creates, they
The
go and
release
they do
guy.
something, they blow up the ship. It made me think of that literally that scene was in my mind as I was looking at this chart. I don't know why, but
Okay.
There's something about the 12th house ruler and the 7th. I don't even know how to word it. Again, I'm
Yeah.
not factoring, but it's like there feels like something.
Yeah.
I hope not though, because that I hope not. I hope that's not.
yeah.
Well, if that was true, that would blow the lid off of everything that we thought we knew about the space program and about this particular, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It would turn everything on its head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this next section we're going to talk about might also do that. So
Yeah.
next, we're going to talk about these scientists that have either turned up dead or missing. So in recent years, particularly between 2025 and early 2026, several individuals connected to U.S. aerospace, defense, and nuclear research have either disappeared or died under varying circumstances. This cluster of cases has drawn national attention and prompted inquiries by federal agencies and Congress. However, it's important to distinguish between confirmed facts and speculation. While these cases are often discussed together in media and online, investigations indicate that they are not currently proven to be connected. The individuals involved worked across institutions such as NASA-affiliated labs, like the Jet Propulsion Lab, and defense-related contractors. The grouping of these cases, rather than a confirmed link, has driven public concern and the narrative of a broader pattern. As of right now, there are 14 missing or deceased individuals, and we have quote unquote last seen times for 4 of those cases. So we're just going to kind of go through case by case. I don't believe we're touching on all 14 of them.
No.
No,
We're
just the
touching on,
4. Yeah.
yeah, we're touching on like some of the ones that are a little more,
Well, if we have times for
yeah,
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 because some
like,
of them you can't find. Like, there's not a
even dates for some
Yeah.
of them, it's very, yeah.
yeah. So Monica Reza went missing on June 22nd, 2025. And Monica was a materials scientist with a background in aerospace metallurgy or metallurgy. I don't know how to say that. And reported ties to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. She disappeared while hiking in California's Angeles National Forest. She was last seen on the morning of June 22nd, 2025, on a well-traveled trail. According to reports, she briefly separated from a companion and vanished within minutes, leaving no trace despite extensive search efforts. Her case is notable for the suddenness of the disappearance and the lack of physical evidence, and it remains unsolved to this day. So let's look at the chart for Monica Reza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one's weird because it's like she just like 1 minute she was there, the next minute she was gone.
Yeah.
That's it's kind of described, which is fucking bizarre.
It's
Like,
very bizarre. It's kind of crazy, actually. This could would be a whole other episode, but the amount of people that like have disappeared in the
yeah,
woods, but like
Mhm.
they're with someone, and like
Yes.
they're all of a sudden that one of them is just gone.
Yep.
That
it's like where do yeah, I've read a lot of theories about that. Are they going into like portals and not realizing it? Are they going into something underground?
right,
Yeah, that stuff isn't. That does evoke like the same kind of thing here. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
did she get sucked up into something? Did she fall into some sort of underground thing? You know, it's
right. Well, this chart is a Leo rising. The sun was in Cancer, conjunct Jupiter, and square the Neptune Saturn conjunction, which is in the 8th house here. The North Node in Pisces is sextile the Moon in Taurus and trine Mercury in Cancer in the 12th. Pluto. Now, this is going to be the case for all of the going forward cases because this is all, Pluto moves very slow. Pluto is in declination 22 south. So making it contraparallel to NASA and jet propulsion. All of these charts are.
Mhm.
Doesn't necessarily mean they're all connected, but
It is interesting.
it's interesting. Yeah.
It is interesting. You know, the Mercury in the 12th ruling that well, first of all, it's like information that's not seen. It feels a
Yes.
little like information that's not seen, just but I know, like, the 2nd house can be involved with, like, quote, abductions.
Yeah.
Not necessarily I mean, maybe alien abductions, but also, like, just, like, being abducted from some and it's the ruler of the 2nd house, so there is sort of abducted quality to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
in whatever capacity that looks like.
The moon was conjunct Uranus right around when she went missing as well. So Uranus is at it again. This one had a lot of fixed stars
Okay.
and a couple asteroids. I don't think I need to go into every single fixed star. Some of them don't feel very relevant, or a lot of them repeat the same thing.
Mhm.
So I thought I would go through some of them. How does that sound? Or do we want to look at anything else before we get specific with these fixed stars?
I have my book too if you want me to take some of them.
Sure. So this one I find interesting is the asteroid Phaeton is conjunct the moon in Taurus, which can indicate accidents.
Which also came up with one that we did too.
Yes.
Yes. Can't remember which one, but yes.
Yeah, Phaeton has showed up a lot.
Yes,
Accident.
that's I've heard this. Yeah, we've talked about her before.
Yeah, totally. One we haven't talked about is a fixed star called Kerb, Kerb, and it's conjunct Saturn Neptune, and it can indicate danger of being abandoned by a lover.
It's interesting.
Yeah. There's also another fixed star conjunct all this called Difta, which indicates self-destruction through brute force, disease, disgrace, misfortune, and forced change.
Okay.
Then conjunct to the moon is Capulus, which is linked to murder, particularly beheading.
Oh my.
Yeah.
There's also one at 2352 Taurus 2.
Yeah. Which one's that?
Zarak.
Uh-huh.
Melancholy, fear of death, and suicidal tendencies. Interesting.
So another one that the moon would have been conjunct shortly after when it went conjunct with Uranus. So this fixed star is conjunct Uranus, and it's Pleiades. And that can be about accidents, violence, homosexuality, and feminine power.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Was this person her lover that she was with in the trail?
I don't
know.
Yeah, it just said a companion. It never said.
Yeah, and I watched a YouTube. There's a YouTuber who has been covering each of these cases. So, and I was watching each of them, and I do recall her with this particular case. I do recall her saying that her companion was only maybe like less than 100 feet ahead of her on the trail, and that she had to forget the reason why she had to stop. I don't remember, but they were like talking back and forth and kind of like shouting to each other, and like all of a sudden, like she just stopped responding.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is creepy.
It is. Somebody just like feeling like they vanish in thin air.
Well, there's speaking of creepy, there's a fixed star conjunct Mercury. So I think this is important because, Mercury in that 12th, and it rules the second house of abductions. There's a fixed star called Pollux, Pollux, and that can indicate destruction via violent death, ignorance, or pride. Yeah.
Did you say violent death? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
The violence thing does strike me here also with that Mars in the first house.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a fixed star conjunct that Mars too.
Is it okay, I can't pronounce anything. Megrez?
Oh, I didn't find that one. I found one called Phecda. Phecda. And when that fixed star is conjunct a malefic, which it is, it can indicate severe bloodshed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
I know. Beheading, bloodshed. But if there was bloodshed, it didn't happen right then and there. She would have been abducted.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a precision though with that Mars and Virgo. There's a precision. There's a precision to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I picture, and I know that's not how this happened, but I picture if she were taken, it's like picked up and like just precisely taken somewhere else kind of thing.
Yeah. Scooped up.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask your little friend?
Did you all take her? It's like, no, I didn't. Okay.
Well, at least
I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
Should we move on? Should we move on to the next person?
Sure.
Okay. So the next person to go missing was Stephen Garcia. Stephen Garcia was a government contractor associated with the Kansas City National Security Campus, and he disappeared from Albuquerque, New Mexico on August 28th, 2025, he was last seen leaving his home on foot, carrying a handgun, while leaving behind essential personal items, including his phone, his wallet, and his vehicle. Authorities initially expressed concern for his well being, but no confirmed explanation has emerged, and his disappearance remains unsolved.
Mars in the first again.
Mars in the first again.
Different sign, but it's still, I mean, it's
Yeah. And the moon in Scorpio.
mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Never a good sign.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. Mars is the ruler of that 7th house, that Aries. This is somebody like coming to him.
Mm-hmm.
Ruler of the 7th and the 1st, somebody coming to him or something coming to him, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever.
Do you think, is there anything in his chart that that suggests that he may have been like, like one of those sleeper cell?
Oh,
Because why else would he just get up and walk out of his house with a gun and nothing else? Like he was being summoned by something. You know what I mean?
like a Manchurian Candidate kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's see. South Node in the 12th, maybe? Something from the past is like it's unseen, unhidden.
Mm-hmm.
And hidden. What would let's see. I'm gonna look it up, see if that's in the rulership book, just to see what
Yeah.
activation. If you were to what would that be under? Yeah, it's Mars. Okay, that's what I figured it would say. Something Mars like
Mm-hmm.
Mars in the first,
Mhm.
being activated.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's that.
Because
Uh,
that's weird. Somebody just pops up and decides to walk. That is weird.
yeah, and just leave everything behind like that, and like no, yeah. It's like where did he go? Why did he have his gun? What was that about? Why was he anticipating danger? Like you don't just get up and walk out of your house with a gun and nothing else unless you know what you're walking into. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Unless
Yeah.
you know that you protect yourself for some reason. There was premeditation.
Yeah. Not surprisingly, there's an asteroid that we've seen before, conjunct Mercury. So, information. The asteroid is Ono.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. And that could indicate getting some shocking information or not so great news that can like lead to something drastic.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing that's interesting is that there's a nebula cluster I found that's in the first decan of Leo. So that would cover that Venus right there, that Venus in Leo, which rules that Mars.
Mhm.
It's called a Selly, and it's associated with fire, hanging, disgrace, and beheading.
Okay.
Beheading.
I know.
Yeah, another beheading.
It makes me wonder if their remains were decimated so they couldn't be found or something. Is that like what that might be indicating?
It could be. It could-
Or it could be a metaphor for like a sleeper cell or a Manchurian candidate being activated, where it's like your brain switches. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
it might not be beheading, but it might be like it's like a turning off or a
Yeah.
turning of something, like of something that
Yeah.
like galvanizes you to like a different objective or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Totally.
could. Mhm.
Uh, yeah. Should we move on to the next one, or do we have anything else to say about this, about Stephen Garcia?
It's actually about the did she have a gun with her? Did she have a firearm with her like he did and like the Major General?
I don't know if she did. I know the Major General who we're going to talk about next, he had a gun with him.
Yes. No, yes, that for sure. But I was just wondering if there was like a common weapon thread too, like if they all kind of.
Right. I
Let me
don't
check,
believe
actually.
she had a gun. Huh?
I'm gonna check really quick.
Yeah. While you're checking, I'll say there's one other fixed star that popped out to me in this chart because it's conjunct Mars,
Okay.
and it's called Algorab, and it's associated with destructiveness, ill intentions, disgust, deceit, and it's often tied to terrorist attacks.
Okay. No, that's interesting because that I know that that's a theory that I've seen around, like they're being taken by another country or so, you know what I mean? Or I'm sure you've read about those things,
Yeah,
right,
totally.
which would be like a terrorist attack of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 13 Libra is where that fixed star is. So if we see anything else at 13 Libra, it's associated with that fixed star.
Okay. And then there was one. Let me see.
While you're looking that up, I do want to say, in terms of Monica Riza, she did not have a gun when she disappeared. And I was wrong about two things. She was only 30 feet away from her companion when she disappeared.
Just even shorter, even a shorter
She's
distance.
even shorter. And she was last spotted smiling and waving to her companion before vanishing.
Fucking
Yeah.
And there was one physical trace of her that was found, but it was only after a multi-agency search was conducted, and it was a beanie of hers. It's like a hat of hers, but it was found 600 feet below the trail. So that could be something that could have just like fallen out of her pocket or blown off of her head. Like that's not necessarily something
Right.
that like would indicate that she fell to her death or anything, especially if there was no body. Like why would there be a hat but no body?
That's interesting.
And why would none of her other affects be found near it if she fell? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, very easily could have just fallen off of her or fallen out of her. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's suspicious.
There
AF.
there is a fixed star here at the moon.
Oh,
Like close to it. This is at 6 degrees 57 minutes of Scorpio. Cambalia, I can't pronounce anything. It's deep research of any kind, police investigation, espionage, and esoteric subjects.
oh,
Which is kind of interesting.
yeah. Hmm. Okay.
Should we move on to the coronal?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. The next missing person occurred this year in February 27th of 2026, and it was Colonel William Neal McCausland. He was a retired U.S. Air Force Major General and former commander of the Air Force Research Lab, and he was reported missing from New Mexico. He left his home under unclear circumstances and has not been found. His background in advanced research programs has contributed to public speculation, although no verified link to other cases has been established. And I believe we said that he also had a firearm on him when he disappeared as well, correct?
Yes.
He left almost everything else. Didn't he leave his glasses? But
Yeah.
he took the gun.
And his wallet too, right? I think he left
Yes.
like everything.
Yes. Yeah, he yeah, he didn't take any. Yeah. This is the one that when we were talking, William, where you made the
Yeah.
comment, there might be many, there could not everything connected to this one, but like this one with all of with the chart ruler, Venus at 21 degrees Pisces and all that stuff, or all the other planets and node around it, could be indicating multiple cases tied to this.
Yes. Yeah, that was the first thing I saw. So, as a side note, me and Ellie did cover this one specifically. We covered a couple of these actually on her podcast. So, if you want like a deep dive into those two, to this chart, and then also the missing father and son, which we'll look at after this one,
Yep.
we have 2 episodes where we go into that. But so we've really looked at these ones, and yeah, that's a loaded 11th house.
Mm-hmm. Yep. His is also weird because like when his wife found the clothes that he was wearing, like in the bedroom or in the closet, and she couldn't figure out what he's wearing, like, gone, like,
Well,
everything appeared to be there, so
Like he had put on a new outfit.
yes, like, he had a whole new outfit for whatever he was doing. She couldn't place any of his clothes being missing.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. Like, what like, what?
Yeah.
So bizarre. Should we go to the next one?
Well,
Or do we want
yes,
to talk
and
about this one a little
well,
bit
there's a
more?
couple things I just want to say about the chart. That well, first off, Uranus in the first house.
Yeah.
You know, science related stuff, but just accidents or weird stuff
Mhm,
happening. And it's ruled by that Venus in Pisces, conjunct Mercury.
mhm.
Uranus is conjunct Algol,
Yep, it is.
which is what do you want to describe Algol?
I'll read.
All
I'll
right.
read my wait, where my book is falling apart. Hold on.
That just
Um,
means it's well loved.
it is. It's very well loved, but I've got, like, pages. I'm like, "Shit." Okay, primitive okay, this is what it says in mine. Primitive female sexuality, strangulation, beheading, danger to throat and neck, murder, violence, mass catastrophe, the evil one, quote, the demon star, passionate, intense, and hysterical, very unfortunate.
Yeah. Which,
So
you know, it was conjunct, Uranus moves slow. So obviously Algol was conjunct Uranus for a minute there, but just the fact that it's right there by the ascendant in the first house,
it's very prominent.
very prominent. Yeah.
So
So I think that it's important to note that Algol for sure. The moon was out of bounds also.
oh, what
Important.
oh, that's right, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Conjunct the ascendant is the asteroid Laverna, which we've seen before. This one deals with underworld dealings. So like crime, underground crime.
I feel like Pluto conjunct the midheaven might also echo something kinda similar.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or it could. It could go a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
it or somebody in power, somebody that was perceived as in power with the 7th
Right.
house, one of the rulers. Well, both the rulers of the 7th house in the 10th.
Yeah. So far, I don't know about connection, but I don't know that any of these were straight up accidents.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Definitely not this one.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Well, this might be a good segue to the next one. We are going to move ahead to April 17th, 2026, when a single engine Mooney M20 aircraft crashed near Union County Airport in South Carolina at approximately 6:30 p.m. while attempting to land after a refueling stop. All four individuals on board were killed. There was James Tony Moffat. He was an aerospace engineer and former NASA affiliated specialist. And then there was his wife, Lisa, who was 61, Andrew Moffat, who was a research engineer and scientist. He was their son. And then their other son, William Moffat, 28, who worked in information technology. Now, bit of background on James, the father. James Moffat had a long career in aerospace and defense. He was a former U.S. Army pilot and test pilot trainee. He worked with NASA's Johnson Space Center astronaut office, supporting space shuttle missions. He later founded an aerospace consulting firm and worked in advanced defense research. And his son, Andrew, was also a scientist, working as a research engineer at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. And the circumstances around the crash are kind of interesting. So the family was traveling from North Carolina back to Huntsville, Alabama. They had stopped in South Carolina to refuel before continuing, and the aircraft went down in a wooded area near the runway during this leg of the trip. So as of now, the cause of the crash hasn't been publicly confirmed, and the investigation remains ongoing under the National Transportation Safety Board and Federal Aviation Administration.
Lots of Libra rising or
Yes.
Taurus rising charts, a lot of Venus rule charts.
Yeah, and this is the one where that asteroid Phaeton was conjunct Venus in the 8th.
Okay. Yes, yeah.
So yeah, Venus is approaching that Uranus. It's like, so maybe this wasn't, I don't remember. So we did a whole episode on this one too. So if you want to check that out, but I don't remember.
I
This one
think
shows accident a little bit more, but
I
sounds
remember it's coming we felt like it might have been something made to look like an accident, and that was being reflected, like, that's why it was so conflicting, or why it's possible that it was so conflicting.
right, because Silentium, the asteroid that often shows up when someone is trying to be silenced, was conjunct Uranus.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had kind of come to decide was that it was either, that some kind of faulty situation that was unseen or done on purpose. I'm a little bit more leaning on done on purpose.
Yeah, something that was made to look like an accident, but that was yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
With all that stuff in the 6th house, like, and it being Mars ruled, and Mars is in it's joy in the 6th, and it's in Aries, which it rules. It's really strong here, and that feels like ninja or like secret, like
Yeah.
person, like going in and like loosening up some screws, and I don't know.
Yeah, well, also that the ruler of the 12th and in the 6th too, some unseen hidden enemy or some shit.
Yeah,
Um,
that Mercury.
Are
uh-huh.
there any similarities between, I mean, I hate to make this correlation, but are there any similarities between this and the Challenger disaster? Like, are there any similarities in the?
We can look at that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's look at the Challenger.
I just figured that would be an interesting
Mhm.
Yeah,
overlap.
absolutely. Well, there we go. The north node of the Challenger is conjunct the moon.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, I see. Yes, yes, it is.
That's
Then
the
we have
main thing.
the sun and Venus on Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out Challenger had the let me see, where is that Saturn squaring the nodes in the plane crash chart?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think the Challenger was more likely the accident more than the father-son plane crash.
Yeah. I just figured it would be interesting to look.
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally. Well, before we go into the last chart, I thought let's do a quick. I was going to put the jet propulsion technology chart around each of the 4 to see if
Okay.
there's any connections there.
Okay.
Just like a quick, we'll just kind of whatever jumps out. So we'll start with, all right, well, the plane crash will go backwards. So let
Okay.
me, is it really NASA, the NASA chart? I think it's the NASA chart we really want to look at, actually. That's the one where all the connections are, I think.
Well, yeah, and the jet propulsion, it's like it kind of like the way when we looked at those 2 together was like jet propulsion carried like NASA carried on.
Right.
Even though JPL still exists, it's like it carried that on, that forward, so
Totally. Here we go. Yeah. All right. The MC right on the plane crashes
mhm.
Jupiter, Mars right on the moon,
We have Libra risings in both.
Libra risings in both. The
Mhm.
south node conjunct the sun.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mercury and Pluto conjunct the south node.
Mhm.
This chart feels more connected
Yes,
than, say, the last one we were looking at, right?
this one does. Yep.
Kind of locks in there like a little key. All right, let's move to the next. We're just gonna go through these quick and just the quick ones. So that one before that was this guy, McCasland.
Both Venus ruled risings.
Both Venus ruled risings. South node on Chiron.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here again, this Mercury Pluto conjunction on the South node.
This feels very information based. So did the
Yeah.
other one with that South node, Mercury, Pluto. Yeah, it's very
Information.
uh,
The one before that was that Steve.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you, Steve? Okay. Wow.
Another Venus full chart.
Yep.
Oh,
Ascended on Mars.
mm-hmm.
Neptune conjunct the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got Pluto, Mercury conjunct the sun.
Yep. Again, the information. Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy these. I wouldn't buy that these are not connected.
Yeah. Again, MC on Jupiter. All right. Now we're looking at
Reza or Riza?
yes, Reza. Where are we? Reza.
Middle. Towards the
Thank
middle.
you. Jupiter, Mercury, right on that Mars.
This rising is not. This one is not Venus ruled. I'm just
Right.
pointing that
Yeah,
out
it's
because
the only one that isn't.
it's the only one that isn't.
But then we have, the South node is
Yep.
conjunct. I mean, but then again, a lot of these cases happen close together, so there's going to be commonalities there, but so they're going to hit the same things in Neff's chart, but it's all relevant.
It is, and when you've got that Mars conjunct the information, like I know it doesn't have the same Venus ruled thing going on for the chart, but yeah, that Mars conjunct. Mm, conjunct.
Venus is the highest planet in the chart, though,
It is.
so it is significant, and it's in domicile.
It is.
So
Which is also something that we noticed in the father-son chart. It was also in Taurus
mhm.
there. Strong ass Venuses. And in which one was it? McCaslin's, it's in Pisces,
Yeah.
which is
Mhm.
also strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we go through all four?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Do we want to go to our last?
The one that might be the most out there in terms of being connected, but we got to look at it,
Because it's
Ew.
fucking weird, right? You
Fucking
got a
weird.
weird ass situation. We gotta look at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we are, of course, talking about the most recent assassination attempt on.
The most recent.
Yep, right. The most recent. So in April of 2026, April 25th to be exact, an assassination attempt occurred during the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, D.C. A gunman breached a security checkpoint at the venue, which was the Washington Hilton. And part of the reason why he was able to do that was because he was actually a guest at the hotel. So he breached the checkpoint and opened fire in an area near the event before reaching the main ballroom. President and other attendees were quickly evacuated and unharmed, except did really fucking go ass over teacup, which tickles me. Though a Secret Service officer was injured during the incident, he was shot, but he was wearing a bulletproof vest. The suspect was apprehended at the scene, and authorities have described the event as a premeditated attempted assassination, with the attacker allegedly intending to target high-level government officials.
Mhm.
Here's what we know about the suspect. So the alleged perpetrator, Cole Thomas Allen, a 31-year-old man from California. He was a graduate of Caltech and previously interned at NASA working with jet propulsion technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He previously worked as a mechanical engineer at IJK Controls in Pasadena, California, which is about 5 miles from the Arroyo Seco and the Devil's Gate, which both of those things we've mentioned.
Coming full circle.
Yep. Authorities say he expressed strong anti views and sent writings or a manifesto prior to the attack, indicating intent to target several officials. He faces multiple federal charges, including attempted assassination, and he remains in custody pending further legal proceedings. He was also like, wasn't he like naked or like close to they caught him and why? Why was he?
Was he?
Yeah.
It kind of looked it kind of looked like it from the yeah.
He didn't have a shirt on. I don't know why.
It's not kind of is funny. It's
I
like
mean, if
not
I
wearing-
was attempting something like that, I'd probably be pretty sweaty as well. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't notice that. Well, this chart is fascinating. The Scorpio, it's a Scorpio rising. Mars in Aries represents the victim or would-be victim. So been everyone there. And it's very strong. It's Mars and Aries. So in a way, it's protected there, right? It's like, it's interesting visually too, seeing it like pointing at that Mercury.
Yes, it is.
You
It is.
know?
It feels yes, literal.
And in the fifth house, they were at an event, they were drinking and, that's fifth house is very much like, a ball or, oh, it was the correspondence dinner.
Yes.
So very much fifth house. Yeah.
We've got Uranus at 29 degrees, 59 minutes of Taurus right before it makes it, moves into
Yes.
Gemini for good. And
Yeah. Like minutes before it switched. Yeah.
yeah, kind of makes me wonder what might have happened if he had waited.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
If you waited a little bit longer,
yeah,
it would have been a
just
different scenario. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. There's lots of fixed stars in this one. I don't think they all kind of indicate what we already know to be true. The only one that really stuck out to me, which I just thought was very interesting, was there's a fixed star conjunct the moon moon in Leo at 29 degrees. And it's Regulus, which can be renowned for violence, brief military honor, followed by downfall.
okay. So that feels fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the 29 degree yeah, it's like 29 degrees.
Yeah, the moon and Uranus.
Do we think this was connected to the
Let's look. Huh. Well, Mars,
Huh.
NASA's Mars conjunct the sun. South node again, still on. Well, I mean, that's kind of a broader thing that's been in all of these, but
that moon
that moon,
with the Pluto? It's out of sign. It's an out of sign conjunction, but it's there with that Mercury Pluto thing.
yeah.
This is interesting.
So is it connected? I don't think so. Personally,
I think it's just like a random. It could be. It could just be a random.
I think it's random. It's connected in the sense, obviously, what we know from his past, but I don't think that it's like part of the bigger picture like the other ones are.
Yeah, I could see that here, especially with like that Venus is now it's not as strong also there as it isn't some
Right.
of those other ones. This one could kind of be off on on its own.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else we want to say about this before we wrap it up?
What do we think, y'all? What do we think's going on here?
Maybe not with this particular one, but the other ones it does seem like it seems like there's something going on. It seems
Yeah.
like there's something going on.
It's connected. I think they're all connected except for this last one.
Yeah. Yeah, he just seemed like a Did you find out if for sure he wasn't wearing a shirt?
Oh, so they took the shirt. Apparently, they removed his shirt for hit to see if he was holding hidden weapons.
Oh, or like had a bomb strapped to him or something.
Yeah.
That makes
I was
sense.
I was gonna say the shirtless man running it or hanging out there doing what he's doing was not connected to all the other weird shit.
You would think it was, though.
Huh?
Said you would think
Information.
Oh.
I spoke with a scientist,
Mhm.
someone I know who will remain anonymous. They are a biologist, but they know people in NASA. And I said, well, what do you think? What are the scientists thinking about all of this right now?
Yeah.
And they said that there's definitely a connection. They definitely believe that these people have information, most likely connected to some kind of renewable resource that would be free, that was discovered, that would essentially make all the billionaires not very happy.
Oh.
I wonder
Yeah.
what resource. What
Like some
resource
kind of energy resource,
Yeah, I mean, think
something
about
related to air,
to air. Okay. So
like,
something that's just like widely available
yeah,
for
Gemini, which is so like
it is.
Uranus and Gemini. It's been air the whole time. That's all we needed was air.
That would
yeah,
be
think about Nikola Tesla, think about the mystery of the pyramids and all the new things that they're finding out about the pyramids, like about the fact that there are these like gigantic columns under all of the pyramids, and they are now more than ever thinking that the pyramids were an energy source. But so much of that information is being suppressed, and you wonder why.
yes, you do.
You wonder why.
That
So that's
that's
pretty terrifying.
that's yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
The,
Have
the,
you have either of you seen or read any of this like thermo imaging stuff that they've been doing underneath the pyramids? And like
No.
it is
no.
it is actually it's and I can't believe that it hasn't that it's more people aren't reporting on it, but they found structures under all of the pyramids that they're like these cylindrical
Oh, yeah.
column that go down like hundreds of meters.
I remember this now.
Where do they
And and then there's like a structure at the very bottom. They think that they have found the second Sphinx buried underground. Yep. Like there's all this stuff that they have found. We should do an episode just on that.
All right.
very
Like,
where can I read more about that? You know? I would love to.
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube, and I follow a couple people on Instagram and Facebook who are archaeologists who talk about all these findings. Ugh, I'll have to like think of the name. I'll have to think of the name of the one I like a lot. She's I think Australian, or maybe she's British. But yeah, it's all very interesting, but I I feel like the answers are there, but for whatever reason they're not being discussed. And I can't help but wonder if there's a reason. All right. Well, the mystery continues, and until next time, if something seems askew, use your cosmic clues.
Ooh. I
I like
like that.
I
I
just
like
came
that.
up with that.
Thanks so much, Ellie, for joining us. As always, it's
Yes,
been a
thank you.
blast.
Thank you for having me. And I think I just want to say, I think there will be more things connected to all of
Yeah,
this.
Oh yeah,
for
we can do
sure.
an update later.
We will.
Yeah.
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 Keep your eyes open
Yes.
Yeah.
for more. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.